What if I told you one dress could make a woman feel powerful, elegant, and free? That's exactly what Diane von Furstenberg did when she introduced the world to the wrap dress in the 1970s. But her story goes beyond fashion. It's about power, reinvention, and staying relevant for decades. At 78 years old, Diane remains a force in the industry, proving that influence doesn't fade, it evolves. Today we're diving into how she dominated fashion in her 50s, 60s, and 70s, and why she's more relevant than ever. Let's get started. The rise of DVF. Diane von Furstenberg wasn't always a fashion powerhouse. Born in 1946 in Belgium, she was the daughter of a Holocaust survivor, a woman who had been imprisoned in Auschwitz just 18 months before Diane was born. That kind of resilience, it shaped Diane's entire outlook on life. She was raised with the belief that fear was never an option. She studied economics in Switzerland and in the late 1960s married Prince Egon von Furstenberg. Yes, an actual prince. But Diane never wanted to be just a princess or a royal wife. She wasn't interested in living off a title. She had bigger ambitions. She wanted her own name to mean something. The birth of the wrap dress. Diane had a vision, clothes that worked for real women, not just high-fashion models. While visiting an Italian factory, she saw a simple wrap-style top and thought, what if this were a dress? A dress that didn't need buttons or zippers. A dress that hugged the body in all the right ways, but still felt effortless. So in 1970, armed with $30,000 and a suitcase full of jersey fabric, Diane launched her first designs. She knocked on showroom doors in New York City, selling directly to buyers. She had no formal fashion training, but she had something better: instinct. By 1974, the wrap dress exploded. Women loved it because it was easy, sexy, and professional all at once. It became the ultimate symbol of female independence. The wrap dress takes over the world. By 1976, Diane had sold over 1 million wrap dresses. Newsweek put her on the cover, calling her the most marketable woman since Coco Chanel. Her label, DVF, wasn't just a fashion brand. It became a movement. Celebrities, businesswomen, and everyday women embraced the effortless power of the wrap dress. Diane herself became a fashion icon, proving that a great idea, and the fearless pursuit of it, could change the industry. But even icons face setbacks, and Diane's journey was about to take an unexpected turn. Success isn't always a straight path. Diane had built an empire, but in the 1980s, it all started to crumble. What happened? And how did she turn it all around? Stick around, because this next part is where the real power of reinvention begins. The fall and reinvention. Success in fashion is never guaranteed, even for legends. After her meteoric rise in the 1970s, Diane von Furstenberg's empire started to falter in the 1980s. Trends shifted, competition grew, and suddenly, the magic of the wrap dress wasn't enough. Losing the empire. By the mid-80s, the wrap dress craze had cooled, and sales plummeted. The DVF brand, once unstoppable, struggled to stay relevant. Retailers wanted something fresh, and the industry was brutal to designers who couldn't adapt fast enough. Diane was also going through major personal changes. She had divorced Prince Egon von Furstenberg and was facing a brand identity crisis. Instead of fighting to keep control, she made a radical decision. She sold her fashion business. For many, this could have been the end of the story. But for Diane, it was just a new chapter. Reinvention in the 1990s. After selling DVF, Diane stepped back from fashion. She moved to Paris and focused on publishing, launching a successful beauty and lifestyle brand. But the pull of fashion never left her. By the 90s, something surprising happened. The wrap dress was making a comeback. Vintage DVF pieces became collector's items worn by supermodels and celebrities. A new generation of women was discovering the effortless power of her designs. Diane saw the opportunity, and this time she was ready to take control. The comeback of a lifetime. In 1997, at 50 years old, Diane Von Furstenberg reclaimed her name and relaunched DVF. But this wasn't just about a dress. It was about building an empire that could last. This time, she wasn't just a designer, she became a businesswoman, mentor, and fashion mogul. The wrap dress made a triumphant return, but she expanded beyond it, creating an entire lifestyle brand that spoke to powerful women of all ages. Diane transformed her company into a global fashion powerhouse, proving that age doesn't define success. Reinvention does. Reclaiming her name was just the beginning. In the next stage of her career, Diane von Furstenberg didn't just bring back a dress. She became a leader in the fashion industry. Stick around, because this next chapter is where she cements her legacy. Power over 50s, 60s, and 70s. By the time Diane von Furstenberg hit 50, she wasn't just making a comeback, she was rewriting the rules of what it meant to be a woman in fashion. While many designers faded into the background after their prime, Diane was just getting started. Becoming a leader in fashion. In 2006, at 59 years old, Diane von Furstenberg took on one of the biggest roles in the industry. She became the president of the CFDA, Council of Fashion Designers of America. The CFDA is the powerhouse behind American fashion. They recognize top designers, set industry standards, and push for innovation. For 13 years, Diane led the organization, mentoring the next generation of fashion designers, from Alexander Wang to Prabal Gurung. Her leadership wasn't just about business, it was about elevating women. She championed programs that funded female entrepreneurs and fought for sustainability and inclusivity in fashion. And while she was shaping the industry at a high level, she was also expanding her own brand like never before. DVF goes global. By her 60s, DVF was no longer just about the wrap dress. Diane expanded into handbags, accessories, and even home decor. Her stores popped up in over 70 countries, and celebrities, from Michelle Obama to Kate Middleton, became loyal fans. Her designs weren't just fashionable, they were a statement. She wanted every woman to feel like she could be the woman she wanted to be. A phrase she repeated over and over throughout her career. But here's what truly made Diane von Furstenberg different. She never let age define her relevance. Redefining power over 70. At 78 years old, Diane is still a dominant voice in fashion and beyond. While many designers retire or step away from the spotlight, she continues to shape the industry in new ways. She launched the DVF Awards, celebrating women who create change in their communities. She became a major advocate for female empowerment, often speaking at global summits and partnering with organizations like the United Nations Foundation. And while she stepped down as chairwoman of DVF in 2021, she didn't stop working. Instead, she focused on a new mission, helping women embrace aging, power, and confidence. Her Instagram, a mix of fashion, wisdom, and unapologetic authenticity. She constantly shares messages like, "Age is a privilege. Embrace every wrinkle. It means you've lived. Confidence is the most beautiful thing you can wear." She's proving that power doesn't fade with age. It evolves. Diane von Furstenberg isn't just a designer. She's a force. But her legacy goes beyond fashion. Before we wrap up, let's talk about what truly makes her an icon. The legacy and what's next. Diane von Furstenberg's legacy isn't just about a dress, it's about a mentality. She built an empire on the belief that women should feel powerful, confident, and unapologetically themselves. And even after 50 years in fashion, she's still proving that style is about more than clothes. It's about identity. Beyond fashion, the impact of DVF. The wrap dress was just the beginning. What Diane really created was a symbol of empowerment, a garment that embraced all shapes, all sizes, and all stages of life. But her influence extends far beyond the runway. Through mentorship, philanthropy, and leadership, she's shaped the careers of countless young designers and championed women-led businesses worldwide. Her DVF Awards, founded in 2010, continue to honor remarkable women who are changing the world. Activists, leaders, and entrepreneurs who embody courage, strength, and vision. She also paved the way for women in business, pushing for equal opportunities, more female leaders, and financial independence for women worldwide. How she stays relevant today. At 78 years old, Diane remains deeply connected to culture and fashion. Her personal philosophy? Age should never limit ambition. And she proves it daily, whether it's by mentoring young designers, speaking at global events, or simply sharing her life experiences with her audience. She's also passionate about sustainability, working to ensure that the DVF brand continues to evolve, reflecting modern values while staying true to its roots. The future of DVF. Though she stepped down as chairwoman in 2021, she remains influential in the company's direction. The DVF brand is still a powerhouse, adapting to modern trends while keeping its timeless essence intact. And Diane? She's not slowing down. She continues to write, speak, and inspire. She's living proof that reinvention never stops, and neither does power. Diane Von Furstenberg didn't just create a dress, she created a movement. A movement that celebrates strength, femininity, and the art of reinvention. Her journey proves one thing. Power isn't about age. It's about presence. Her influence stretches beyond fashion. It's about helping women embrace who they are at every stage of life. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that it's never too late to make an impact. Because as Diane would say, the most important relationship in life is the one you have with yourself.